Hello. Now, if you're like me, you might have become very, very excited recently at the release of Stargrave by Osprey and the associated miniatures from North Star. And you probably faced also the same problem I had, which is what am I going to do for some scenery, because it's a wonderful, wonderful game. It reminds me of the feeling I got in '87 when Rogue Trader came out, because I'm that old. Anyway, marvellous little game, but we need some scenery. So this is a quick how to do it, to turn some cheap, commercially available storage units into, in this case, a hab pod. No one's moved into that one. This one's, we've got a bit of pre-made scenery from Mantic there. Their terrain boxes are excellent. Mantic doors again, terrain box, lovely. So I'll just do a quick walk through, and this one's got a light in it as well, so we can turn the lights on if you're in a dark room. Anyway, and there's a small one, so there's a little hydroponics tank there. Right, again, door on one end. Makes it look pretty nice. But these are made, you'll be delighted to hear, from very, very cheap materials. They're made from these things, which I picked up from Screwfix, also available from B&Q here in the UK. And these are little storage units. They mount on a wall, and you can store screws in them, things of that nature. So I'll just open one up. This is storing screws in and things. I've got it the wrong way up. There you go. Alright. And they do lock together as well, so you can put them end on end, which I haven't done yet, but I'm thinking of doing. I might even make a train out of that kind of thing. Come in two sizes. This one's sort of, you could walk a miniature in, and I thought instantly that they looked like some sort of hydroponics tank. Then the larger one, I didn't realise they sold until after I bought some, so I immediately went back and bought more. £1.99 each, as I say. Dirt cheap, which really suits me. I'm a professional Yorkshireman. Don't want to be spending too much money on scenery, because I've spent it all on lots and lots of miniatures at North Star. So I bought about 2 boxes of each, and I've been sticking miniatures together like crazy. But okay, so first things first, you've got to clean these up. They've got these irritating stickers on one end, which you can, as you can see, they're a right pig to peel off. And when they, oh, look at that, oh, it was awful. And you can see that it's left that nasty sticky residue on there. Well, what you do is you get a bit of white spirit in a tissue, and that comes off straight away. Alright, comes off really nice. Don't bother sitting there scrubbing it with soap and water. You'll be here until COVID's gone, which will take quite a long time. So get that peeled off, and then get some white spirit on there, and it comes off in seconds. Really nice and clean. Then you want to give everything a really good wash. Lots of soap and water, possibly even white spirit everything, and get this really clean. I didn't clean this bit because just this bit. All right. And then you want to get some base coat on that. Now, things like this, polyprop, as anyone who works in automobile industry knows, it's notoriously difficult to paint, and you have to put you have to use specific pre-treatments, which are chlorinated hydrocarbons. But I ain't got any of that, although I could probably scrounge some if I tried hard enough. So I would just clean that up, and then I went straight onto it with some grey primer from Halfords. Bless Halfords, wonderful. And then I went over that. I got a real good coating, couple of layers on, let it dry, go again, let it dry, and then I highlighted up with more more white primer. So this is the matte white primer, again from Halfords, which is about £7-8 a can. pretty cheap. Now you're ready to paint it, and I thought if we're off on a world in the middle of nowhere, we want to do some rust and filth, because nothing, it very much appeals to me having that sort of grungy kind of finish to everything. So I just went over that with initially with white, did a white highlight, and then white splodges just with a paintbrush, just using, I think I was just using Citadel, I was using Foundry white paint in fact to do that, but any acrylic will do. And you can see, by the way, I'd put a bit of tape on and did an orange stripe. I always use, or I've recently started using, for that kind of thing, is cans of spray from for graffiti art, which are about £3.5 a can, even cheaper in fact in some cases. Again, that very much appeals to me. So white edge highlights over everything, and then white splodgers where you're going to put rust, and then I mix a 2-to-1 black and Rhinox hide, water it down a bit and put splodgers on, and then drag it down a little bit, and I think on this one I then went over it and did streaks with and then get the Rhinox hide and a sponge and just very lightly on a sponge and just dab over, which you probably can't see, but this has been it dirties everything, makes everything much dirtier. All right, and filters everything up, and then a bit of riser rust, again just dabbed over with a sponge to make everything nice and dirty and filthy and grimy, and then it's rust, dirty streaks. I think I used Agrax Earthshade on that one, but I've got various bits and bobs over the years, so I use Agrax, I use AK Streaking Grime, and I've got some rust effects which I've put away for a minute, and I just splurge that all over. Look, you don't have, this is not a work of art, far from it. It's for looking good from a distance on the table, and I think they look okay. Inside these half pods, I put once you've painted everything, once you've got your rust and everything on there and everything's dried, give it a whack with some car lacquer. Where's that? And again, I'm buying cheap stuff using that, but they sell reasonably priced stuff from Alfred's as well, just a matte car lacquer, and then I did a white stripe on here and put a little light inside. I don't know if you can see that light there, it comes on if we do that little LED thing, and they sell these up from, you buy, I think they're about £1 each, for weddings and stuff. You probably get it, someone will find it cheaper on eBay, and then you have to wait a few weeks while it comes from China, like everything. And then inside here I've just got a piece of card, because what's the point in and then we've got a bit of sofa here from again, these are Mantic stuff, and I think this is my idea of a lab with a bit of a Chesterfield chair and some Mantic gear, and I've just, no one's going to look at it, and it's inside there anyway, so I mean, it's just not worth spending a lot of time on. Just give it a I sprayed those up with Games Workshop spray and the contrast paints, and that's basically it. There's a base I've made with some some cork and some brown test paints, Nutmeg from Wickes, because Wickes are dirt cheap and fantastic, and get that on, a bit of cork grit in there, in with a paint, dry that off, a light dry brush on it, and then glue some grass on, and then you can do whatever, you can stick some more plants on. I haven't done that yet, but I expect I will. I might even put some static grass and liven these bits up around, but it's just a really cheap way. I guess in total I've made how many have I made? I think I've made 5 of these. I've done 2 large ones and 3 small ones, I think. And if it took me 8 hours, I'd be surprised for the whole lot. They're incredibly quick to make. They're dirt cheap, like myself, and I think they look okay for a couple of quid, 3 quid. The door costs about £1 each, so they had that increases the price by 50%. But I think they look better with the door on. I've seen some other people start putting these on the other side. I think that looks great as well. If you're on the other side, you might want some steps going up. You might want to build some steps up there. But there you go. Hab pods, Ponics tank, 2 or 3 quid each. Can't go wrong. It's a big universe out there, people. Stay safe.